I'm coming.
Good afternoon, Etta. Lady Judith back from London yet?
Not yet, Mr. Andrews.
Well, I'll go ahead and show the house anyway. Come on in, Miss Potter. This is Etta, Miss Potter.
How do you do?
How do you do, ma'am?
From the moment Miss Potter dropped by the office and said she was interested in a place for a girls' school, I thought of Barnsley. Just the place, I said to myself. Wouldn't you agree?
A girls' school? Be very nice, I'm sure.
I'm afraid we won't get much enthusiasm out of Etta. After 50 years, she doesn't take too kindly to this.
Oh, just a moment, Etta. I should like to ask Etta a question if you don't mind.
Oh, of course. Go right ahead.
Since you have been here so long, I should like to know if you have ever sensed the presence of any unearthly beings, ghosts some call them.
Oh, them.
I thought so.
Oh no, ma'am. Oh, I don't believe in them.
You're sure? You've seen nothing? Heard nothing?
No, ma'am. This house is as quiet as a grave.
Thank you, Etta. Thank you. Go right ahead there. Barnsley haunted? Well, whatever giving you such a wild notion?
The villagers, they seem quite proud of saying that Barnsley is the most haunted house in England.
Oh, rubbish. Superstitious rubbish. Pure and simple.
Why, one old man said that he had even seen.
You know how villagers are. Some old codger has a little too much to drink, and well, he says he's seen a white cow or something. And
Well, that's all very well and good. But I should like to point out to you that that door just opened and shut all by itself.
it did?
It most certainly did.
Oh yes, of course. It's really quite simple. Let me show you. Get out of here, you beggars. You see, the latch here is a trifle weak, and so the warm air from the kitchen forces the door open like this, and then the cooler air in here causes a vacuum, which sucks it shut again. It's really quite simple. I could fix it in 5 minutes, but Lady Judith thinks it's rather quaint.
I see. I have no fear of the supernatural myself, you understand. But I couldn't have ghouls popping out at my girls.
Well, naturally, and I can assure you that that's not true.
I accept your assurances. Now to business. When was it built?
Well, the late 15th century, the oldest part of it, by Sir Roger Elliot. That's him there. One of Elizabeth's Seahawks. That's the old hag there is his wife, Lady Hortense. But, you know, it's said that he murdered her, but you know how old stories go. But still, looking at her, it's no wonder he took to the sea. Poor devil.
Despite your reassurances, I have the distinct feeling that there is someone in the room with us. Or something, perhaps.
Oh, nonsense. I can assure you there's nothing like that going on. Well, I've been around this house since early childhood, and I've never seen anything like that at all.
Your briefcase exploding!
Oh, my Lord. Don't get alarmed, Miss Potter.
Blame that on warm air from the kitchen, I dare you.
I had no idea. This is a terrible shock, believe me.
Mr. Andrews, you had no idea?
No.
You are a cheat, a liar, and a scoundrel. Good day.
Etta, would you come here, please?
Why, Mr. Andrews, what seems to be the matter?
They've done it again. That's what's the matter.
They don't mean any harm, sir.
No harm? Judith could have sold this place a year ago if it wasn't for those monsters. I'm going to ask you one time. Please, give me the book.
Well, if there's any particular book you'd be looking for, sir, I'd be happy to go and get it.
You know exactly which book it is I'm looking for. It's the one that has to do with exorcism. The book, please.
But you know how Lady Judith feels about that, sir. Why, if she came home and found that
Oh,
you...
nonsense. I'm not going to do anything without her permission. I merely want to read the book. The book, please.
But exorcism, sir? That's practically murder.
It's no worse than baptisms. While one draws you a little closer to heaven, the other just gives you a little nudge in case you're lingering, like our friends here. The book, please.
But what if it's not heaven you're sending them to, sir,
Yeah.
but in the other direction?
Yeah, I've thought about that. That's probably Lady Judith.
Hello, my lady. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Eda.
Hello, my sweet. Have a good trip?
I did. It was wonderful. Wait till you hear.
Good. I'll get your bag.
Thank you. Oh, Eda, it's terribly short notice, I know, but we're to have company for dinner to spend the night. Do you suppose you could manage for 4 if I help you get the rooms ready?
I'll do my very best, my lady.
Good.
It'll be so nice having company again.
You know,
I'll make a pudding.
oh, that sounds wonderful. You know, Eda, I do have a feeling that our difficulties are over, and your back wages will be taken care of first thing, I promise you.
That's very decent of you, my lady, but you needn't worry
Oh,
about it.
no. First thing I said, I mean it. Off with you now.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, darling. Now come and sit down when you're done. I want to tell you all about my trip. So much to tell you.
Judith, I'm afraid we need to have a talk. And I'm afraid of rather long and serious talk.
Well, of course, darling, but first let me tell you about London. So I got there Tuesday night, you know, and I had dinner with Aunt Harriet, who looks wonderful, by the way. She's got a wallet hat.
Judith, if you don't mind, we need to have a really serious talk.
But this is serious. Anyway, I had the solicitors. I talked to them in the morning. I asked old Mr. Rumsey why he'd sent for me. And he told me that he thought he might have found a buyer for Barnsley.
Well, so have I. A half a dozen, in fact, but none of them, quite understandably, want a house full of ghouls hanging around, and that's what I want to talk about.
But that's what's so wonderful, darling. Mrs. Malone is. She wants a house just bubbling over with psychic activity.
Good Lord. And who is Mrs. Malone?
She's the buyer that Mr. Rumsey introduced me to, an American. She wants to turn Barnsley into a kind of laboratory.
What on earth for?
She just wants to get scientific proof, I suppose, and give it to the world. Here's the sales agreements and a kind of prospectus or something. You know they don't believe in them in America, she tells me. Isn't that silly? It's like not believing in television.
Sounds a bit loony to me.
No, not in the least. She's very intelligent, as a matter of fact, and she's very wealthy. She has a whole top story at the Savoy. She owns the 3rd largest bakery in the world. It's in Minnesota.
Minnetonka. Minnesota's a lake.
Well, anyway, I'm glad to be here tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, her nephew's coming too. He's an exchange lecturer at Cambridge. Physics, I think. Oh, he's rather handsome too. The 3 of us had dinner last night. We danced, the professor and I. He dances quite well, actually. He held me rather close too. Almost too close, as a matter of fact.
I'm extremely jealous, Judith, and I will strike him at first sight. Does that satisfy
Well, it would if you meant it, but you don't. You know you trust me too much, and that's what.
you? She's paying you a good price, though. But wait. She's tricked you. Why, you've signed it and she has not.
Well, that's why she's to come over tonight. She's to sign it once she's satisfied that, well, I'm not misrepresenting, you see.
And how do you propose to satisfy her?
Well, they're obliged to appear whenever I call them, so I thought I'd just have them pop in a bit after dinner.
Well, I'd hardly call that good salesmanship, Judith. Well, we have to dramatize them a little bit. Americans want a show for their money.
A show? I mean, something spooky, groans in the dark, and all that sort of thing?
No,
Gross.
nothing like that. Just a few preliminaries, like sitting around the table and dimming the lights, or, well, maybe a few parlor tricks, like tipping the table and such.
It sounds so grubby somehow.
Oh, nonsense. It's the least we can do. You haven't said anything to them about, well, the beggars probably heard every word we said.
No, they're up in the tower. I saw a light on as I drove up. No, I'm not concerned about them at all. It's quite a marvelous plan, really. I couldn't afford to keep Barnsley, and I couldn't see handing it over to the government. If I did that, I shouldn't receive a penny. And well, I couldn't sell it to anyone, that wouldn't appreciate them. So this way I'll be fabulously wealthy and, well, they'll be taken care of. Oh, and with all that money, you can make passionate love to me all through the Riviera. What do you think of that?
On our honeymoon, I trust.
Really? Well, I suppose it will have to be if that's the case. Anyway, you need to hurry up and come back at 7 in an extremely black tie.
She's here. Come along, General.
Righto, and all prepared to give the old girl a treat of her life.
Weasel's here.
Archie, I don't think it's such a good idea, darling.
Just leave it up to me, Judith. I'll see you at 7.
Oh, cease thy prattling and be off.
Give us a kiss. I hardly call that very romantic. You won't catch me hanging around where I'm not wanted. Goodbye, old girl.
Goodbye, Archie.
Now, speak to her.
Peace, madam. I make the decisions here.
Make what decisions you like, so long as you speak to her.
Mistress Judith.
Oh!
My pardon for affrighting you, Mistress Judith. I am truly sorry, but as master of this house and head of all the Elliots, I must tell you that I forbid you to sell Barnsley.
Eavesdropping again, were you?
Nay, child, Matt brought us the papers, and 'twas well he did. Sell Barnsley? What manner of nonsense is this?
General, I'm afraid you don't quite understand. I've done everything I could to keep Barnsley, but, well, what little money Father left me is just gone now, so I don't see how...
Now, what is that,
Oh, hi, Lady Hortense. You were there, huh? Good afternoon.
Dost fancy thyself the first Elliot without a farthing?
Well,
Mine eyes have seen a score of Elliots with empty purses. Any one of them might have sold Barnsley.
I know...
Did they? They did not.
Let me explain this.
Has thee forgotten how I gave my life in defence of this manor? How the Roundheads came to seek me out? Surrender this house in the name of Cromwell, they cried, through that very doorway. I am a general of King Charles, I answered. I will never surrender.
Yes, General, we've...
Yes, we've heard the tale 1,000 times.
We have come to arrest thee, they cried. Go to the devil, I shouted back. Through that doorway they came, 50 of the rascals. In their eager hands was swords. In their traitorous hearts was murder. Did I surrender? I did not. I fought like a caged beast. Cut! Parry! Cut! Thrust! One down! Another! And another! But then, a lucky blow, and my sword fell from my hand. The cowards. They backed me up to the stair, and then they closed in. 10 blades at once. Ah! 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 Ah!
Anyway, then you keep going with this.
And when the bloody business was done, here I lay upon the stair, run through 12 times, with Matt, dear Matt, my faithful, voiceless stable boy by my side. Thus I died for Barnsley, Mistress Judith, and now, for the want of a gold piece or two, you would sell it.
How dare you?
Very well, if you wish me to sell Barnsley, tell me how to pay the taxes.
Sell thy jewels if need be.
I don't have any more expensive jewels left. I've even sold all the furniture of any value. If I don't sell Barnsley, the government will take it for taxes.
And Elliot yield to the king's treasurer? Never! Defy them! Barricade the doors!
Enough! Now, if Barnsley must be sold, then so be it, and an end to bombast. If need be, we could perhaps adapt ourselves to the occupancy of some noble family, ever excepting the Stuarts. But this? The Malone Institute for Psychic Researches is written never.
What's wrong with with it.
But to be studied and spied upon like beetles in a bottle, never.
'Tis a veritable hell, child. The men of science would want us to perform for them. 'Twould be a manifestation here, an apparition there, a materialization here, till we are worn to the
Oh,
ectoplasm.
dear. It's just silly. Don't you see, if I sold Barnsley to some ordinary buyer, they might... Well, there's always the possibility of exorcism.
Exorcism.
'Tis worse than play murder, child.
You know I never permit it. And neither would Mrs. Malone. After all, she wouldn't even buy Barnsley. There's
So-
nothing for you to be
Oh.
in here. What?
So, you're not selling Barnsley, you're selling us! Oh, for shame, child! Putting thine own flesh and blood, so to speak, on the slave block to satisfy thine own wicked
Oh,
greed.
that is not true, General. You know it. It's ridiculous. Please, Lady Hodges, try to understand this.
We do. Thou art filling thine own purse by peddling off thine honoured ancestors.
I'm not. I'm not at all. You two are just being stubborn. Very well. So shall I. If you'll excuse me now, I have so much to do before Mrs. Malone arrives.
Now you hold on, we have not concluded.
I forbid it!
As you forbid it, do you? Save thy win, her obstinacy is the stillest of generations.
The Elliots obstinately.
Yea, obstinacy, stubbornness, false pride, call it what you will, 'tis in the blood.
Not in mine, woman.
You claim exemption? Pooh!
Pooh-pooh.
Oh, can you old cats do naught but meow and spit at one another? 'Tis truly racket enough to wake the dead.
Hold thy tongue, Penelope.
Hold my tongue. Another century of your endless yelling, and I shall be fit for a madhouse.
In the name of God, child, cover thyself. Hast thou no decency?
'Tis truly proper. King Charles himself approved it.
Ah, Charles the Younger, that was lecherous of monarch, then 'tis most surely sinful. Now cover thyself before I take a rod to thee.
'Twould be warmer for thee too.
Sire,
Nay, what is it, child?
have you not said it is not proper to question the will of God?
Aye, 'tis not.
Well, would it be wicked of me to wonder why it is I, one so full of life, must needs and tripped that night and broken my head upon that miserable stair? E'en so, but granting it was his will that I should fall, may I not wonder why it could not have been some other stair and some other hall? Buckingham Palace, perchance? Or one of the other great halls of London? So, why did it have to be Barnsley? 'Tis no better than a tomb. 'Tis cold and forsooth near's lonely.
Lonely is it? Well, dry thy tears, you pleasure-mad trollop. You shall soon have all the company you can stand.
Oh, company? Are we to have visitors?
Visitors? Nay, child. Invaders. You might as well know it. Barnsley is to be sold, and we with it.
The house will soon be full of colonials spying on our every movement.
Colonials?
Aye, from New England. Men of science. They come to examine us.
God alone knows why. But you'll have thy company, so stop thy whine.
Oh, Lord, think of it. Barnsley full of people once again.
Hundreds, I'll vow, thousands.
Oh, when is it to be?
It starts this night. Two of them come to inspect us. And when it is proved that we exist, the rest will come to torment us.
Oh, 'twill not be torment, but blessed relief. Oh.
Silence! Fool, must I do all thy thinking? Look, see here. Before they will purchase Barnsley, our presence must be proved. Is it not so?
You do not propose that...
Aye. When Mistress Judith calls for us, we'll not appear.
We dare not. 'Tis the ancient rule that when the master calls, we have no choice but to...
Twaddle, medieval twaddle. She hath defied us, we shall defy her.
Come to think on it, she has been most abusive. I with you, whoops, woman.
Good. Now, we'll to the tower and not emerge until the visitors have gone.
No, I will not.
How dare thee?
You're
Oh,
do as I please.
You'll do as we say, you impudent strumpet.
Caesar, fool!
Oh, too slow, old man. You'll never catch me.
After her, idiot!
I know you're there. I know you're there somewhere, whether I can see you or not. It wasn't the hand of a mortal that opened my oven door, and that's a fact. So stay out of my kitchen, do you hear?
Have you seen them, Matt? The general and the old hag?
No?
They're after me, but they'll never catch me. I'm too clever for them. Oh, Matt, think of it. Barnsley full of gentlemen once again. Parties, gay dinners. Oh, perhaps even a ball or two. Oh, come, let's dance. Oh, I know you are but a stable boy, but I don't care. Come, take my hand. There you go. Oh, no. No. Oh, no!
A nice dinner, Lady Judith. Thank you, Mrs. Malone, for her sake. Won't you have a seat there? We'll have coffee presently.
I don't mind saying it's the first decent meal I've had in England. Oh my God, what terrible food. How do you put up with it?
You know what's funny? No one has ever suggested that Aunt Millie go into diplomacy. I wonder why.
Yeah.
Don't apologize for me, Henry. I don't like it. I meant no offense, Lady Judith. I merely feel that the more the British hear about the appalling state of their cooking, the sooner they'll do something about it.
Yes, of course.
We're not at all offended, Mrs. Malone. I mean, our food is rather bad, so I'm told. Judith tells me you're a professor of physics, Mr. Malone.
Well, just an instructor, I'm afraid.
Sounds very interesting.
Oh, stop right there, Mr. Andrews. On the drive down, I politely asked my nephew what was new in the world of physics and regretted it for the next hour and a half. Besides, I want to know about Barnsley. How many rooms are there, Lady Judith?
I'd say about 60. Of course, Ed and I only use a corner of it. No one's been in the West Wing for years, really. Coffee, Mrs. Miller?
Yes,
No
just one.
mortals at any rate.
No morals. Oh, that's where they hang out, you mean.
Yes, most of the time. Would you care for some coffee too, Mr. Malone?
Yes, please.
Mr. Malone, you sounded just a little bit skeptical, really.
Don't mind Henry. Being a scientist, he's perfectly hopeless.
You don't believe it all?
Well, I'm afraid I could use a little convincing, yes.
Oh, fond of Henry as I am, I'm
Thank you,
afraid he's stupid.
Here we go.
Not that he's any different than any of the usual scientists, of course. They're all stupid. If you only knew what I've been through, being laughed at by Henry and his kind. And the American public? Fools. No more imagination than horses.
Judith tells me that Americans don't believe at all. Incredible.
Well, there's a small handful, of course, but everyone else just sits back and laughs at us. But soon they'll be laughing out of the other side of their mouths. That's why I've got to have this place. Are you sure there are actually active forces here?
Oh, yes, very active.
Too active. Me.
Then I'm going to prove it once and for all. I'm going to bring some of those block-headed scientists in here with their cameras, photo floods, and electric eyes. There won't be any doubt when I'm finished, let me tell you.
That sounds like a very expensive project, if you ask me.
Oh, what of it, Mr. Andrews?
If it weren't for the other side, there wouldn't be any Mother Malone's bakeries. It's the least I can do.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, come, Mr. Andrews. How do you think a helpless woman like me could have built the donut stand my husband left me into the third largest bakery industry in the world?
Then you have a business advisor?
Oh, you bet I have. And I don't make a move unless Bleating Hawk gives me the word.
I'm afraid I don't.
A Bleating Hawk, Mr. Andrews, my guide, an American Indian. On this side, he was a medicine man for the Ojibways, helping to guide Lewis and Clark, or so he says. Isn't always truthful, I'm afraid, but what a head for business. He keeps a complete file on all business prospects. And when I have a really tough nut to crack, such as whether I'm wondering whether we should merge with some small group of independent bakeries, or just Bleating Hawk tells me what to do.
Remarkable. An American native. Speaks good English, does he?
Well, I've never actually talked with him. He comes when I call and answers my questions on the Ouija board. But someday, I hope to develop enough to see him.
Wow, that's very interesting, Mrs. Malone. What have you say to that?
Well, as a businessman, he might be a genius. But I can tell you, as a medicine man, he's a complete fraud. He prescribed once for me a pine needle broth soup that just about killed me.
Listen to Mr. Smug, will you?
Am I to understand that you've never actually seen a materialization?
I'm ashamed to admit I haven't. Not even a trace of ectoplasm.
My maids were better.
Well, then I'm afraid my fiance and I can guarantee you a most rewarding evening.
Well, I'm looking forward to it, believe me.
You two engaged.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh, now here's a handsome one.
Oh, can't we start soon? I can't wait to see Henry crawl.
Sure, yes, of course.
Oh, pooh. You would wear this one. You could have this.
I'm afraid you're in for quite a shock tonight, old boy.
Well, I shall try to keep myself firmly in hand.
You may take the coffee things now, Etta, thank you.
Be a chum and grab one of these, won't you?
Oh, of course.
Oh, and a chair for me too, Matt.
Thank you, Etta.
Thank you, Matt.
So, Archie, where shall we all sit?
Well, I think you sit to my right here, and then Mrs. Malone, and then I only asked for one chair, old boy.
I didn't bring it.
Well, I can assure you I didn't, old boy.
Maybe one of your ghouls brought?
Don't be difficult, Henry. Of course you brought it. Just take it back.
Who's being difficult?
Baboon! Where are the men, sir?
Are you presiding then, Mr. Andrews?
Oh, if that's agreeable with you.
Of course. You're psychic then, Mr. Andrews?
Oh, yes, quite.
Oh, won't you put out the lights, Archie?
Oh, isn't this
Excuse me,
exciting? Oh, tell me, Mr. Andrews, what's your specialty? Spirit writings, tappings, table tilting?
Yeah, you sound very well up on this thing, don't you?
Oh, I am. I'm constantly exposing fraudulent mediums. It's the one thing I can't tolerate.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, I know all their tricks, Mr. Andrews. And the second someone claims to be psychic and isn't, I turn into a ruthless monster, I'm afraid. I imagine I've sent over 20 to jail for fraud and extortion.
Jail?
That's where they put people who have broken the law, old boy.
I'm quite familiar with the term, old boy.
Why don't we just not bother with any of the preliminaries, Archie, and just have them materialize
Yes,
now?
yes, of course.
Actual materializations? Goodness, how many?
At my best, I should say 4.
Oh, at your best indeed. You're lucky to have one, sir.
4. All Elliots, Lady
Oh,
Judith?
no, there are 3 Elliots, actually. The 4th is Matt, the general stable boy.
Oh, why only 3? I mean, why not the whole family?
These are the only ones who happen to have died violent deaths in this house?
Now, if we'll have silence, please.
So that's the requisite for membership then, huh?
Yes, it is, and I really don't care whether you believe it or not.
Henry, you're a guest.
Shh. Sorry, Lady Judith, just curious, that's
It-
all.
It's quite all right, I assure you.
Aren't we supposed to hold hands and make a circle?
Oh, yes, of course. Everyone hold hands. And then we'll have silence.
Are you going into a trance?
I'm not going to do anything unless you keep quiet, Mr. Malone.
Sorry.
You should be.
Spirits of Barnsley, appear before us.
Who are you to order me about, sir? Though you are nearly in the family, but why should I have you? I'm sure I do not know.
Are we supposed to focus our eyes on any one place in particular?
Well, they almost always come down that staircase and appear at the landing.
Oh, Lord, I nearly forgot.
Spirits of Barnsley, I command you to appear.
Oh, patience, patience. Would you have me coming down looking like a rag doll? Now that I am fit to be seen, you shall see me.
Goodness, it's quiet.
Perhaps I'd better try, Archie.
Yes, Judith, go ahead.
This is Judith Elliot, mistress of Barnsley. Appear, I command you. That'll fetch them.
Madam, oh madam,
Aye,
have you found her?
aye. She would have betrayed us, the traitorous baggage, but I seized her in the nick.
Oh, God's still with us then. Where is she now?
Locked in the tower.
'Tis best. And Matt?
In the kitchen, 'tis likely.
Matt! Here, boy!
The door, it opened.
That's them.
It's Matt, probably.
Go to the tower, lad. The Lady Penelope is not to leave her chambers.
Matt, if you are here, make yourself known.
Stop him!
Oh, Matt, don't! Obey her, and I'll slice off thine ears. To the tower now, I tell you. Well, are you deaf? Uncover thine ears, idiot! Thine ears! You have the brain of a weevil. To the tower now, I tell you. Lady Penelope is not to leave her chambers. Dost follow? Off then.
For the last time, spirits of Barnsley, as mistress of this house, I command you to appear.
Oh, thou dost thou?
Bellow all night, Mistress Judith. Bellow thy lungs out for all we care.
Not a sound.
It's hopeless. I'm afraid it's hopeless.
The beggars were supposed to appear.
It's just like them to decide to defy me.
Just blame it on my hostile presence. Everybody always does.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Malone.
Must we stop?
It's no use, I'm sure.
But the door opened.
I know, I saw it. I'm sure someone was here, but I don't know. I just... Listen. They will hear from me tomorrow night. And I assure you that
I'm
it'll be
afraid
different.
that tomorrow night will be too late, Lady Judith.
But Henry.
We're expected in Surrey tomorrow, Aunt Millie.
If it's about another house, Mr. Malone, I would think it decent of you to give us a fair chance at least.
After all, Henry, all they have to offer is some old highwayman. Headless at that.
There'll be no more nonsense, I can be sure of that. They will appear tomorrow night. For sure.
Still think you could pull it off. You could arrange it, even though with my hostile presence,
Henry, I think you better stick to your physics and leave the metaphysics to me. If you're sure, we'll stay. I'll just phone the others and put them off a day.
Thank you, Mrs. Malone. There is a phone right by your door.
Then I'll phone them before they go to sleep. And while I'm upstairs, I might as well go to my room. I have a lot of business to attend
Would
to.
I can see you up.
Oh, don't you dare. I know my way. Good night, Lady Judith.
Good night.
Mr. Andrews, Henry.
good night, Aunt Millie.
One more thing, Lady Judith. Are there likely to be disturbances during the night, such as rappings on the furniture, groans or screams or anything like that?
No, nothing like that at all. You needn't be afraid.
Afraid? Heavens, I'd like nothing better.
Good night, Mrs. Malone. Remarkable woman, Mr. Malone. Remarkable. And with an American native to work with her, and remarkable.
Seriously, Mr. Malone, you can't dismiss Bleating Hawk with a joke. Surely his business ability must be evident even to you.
Okay, I'll be serious. First of all, my Aunt Millie doesn't need business advice from anybody. Secondly, Ouija boards. I mean, come on, they were discredited 100 years ago. All you need to get the answers that you want is a little bit of manual dexterity and a whole lot of gullibility. And I'm afraid Aunt Millie has both.
Very logical and possibly true. But I'm afraid your logic won't be of much use to you tomorrow night. You will not regret staying, I can assure you that.
I hope that you won't regret it, Lady Judith.
With a lady like Mrs. Malone, we couldn't have asked for better, could we?
No, we couldn't. Oh, I do hope it will work out.
This must be hard for you, giving up Barnsley.
No, it's not Barnsley she minds giving up. It's the damnable ancestors. Now, we have nothing against ancestors, Mr. Malone, as long as they're in their proper place, which, I must say, is on the walls and not in the halls.
Archie, I don't think it's wise talking this way. If they happen to be listening, it will make them that much more difficult.
So they might be in here, you mean?
Oh, yes, they very rarely materialize.
Well, unless you see,
When they're invisible, you really can't tell where they are?
well, unless you see objects move or the doors open or something. Earlier you saw the kitchen door open quite by itself. Well, that was one of them coming in or going out.
I see, okay. All right.
You sound doubtful, Mr. Malone.
If you're very doubtful and you think there's some kind of mechanical device or something, you're quite welcome to check it out for yourself.
No, I wasn't really thinking that at all. But I might point out that the door could open and close purely through physical laws.
Such as?
Well, for one, the catch might be weak, and the hot air rising to the kitchen ceiling could build up enough pressure that it could force the door open. Then, of course, there would be a rush of cold air from in here at about floor level, replacing the warm air, and that would suck the door shut again.
Well, I'll be damned.
Well, that's very ingenious, actually. You'll have to explain that to my ancestors tomorrow night.
Yes, of course. Well, I'm going to have to be running along then. Got a busy day tomorrow, probably be up most of the night. So if you would excuse me, Mr. Malone.
Mr. Raiders?
I'll see you tomorrow, girl.
Good night, darling.
I'll give you a ring. Say, Mr. Malone, about that hot and cold air business. Pretty sound, is it?
Oh, it's perfectly sound, yes.
Well, I'll be damned.
Well, do help yourself to a nightcap if you'd like, Mr. Malone.
Thank you. Think I will. Shall I pour you one?
Oh, brandy, please, yes. Poor Archie. He's had a bad time with me, I'm afraid. You know, there's such a responsibility, you know. I have to be so awfully careful in whose hands I leave them.
And you think that my Aunt Millie fits the ticket, huh?
Oh, yes, I do. I think she's the perfect person to own Barnsley.
I wouldn't be so sure about that, Judith.
Well, Mr. Malone, you obviously don't want your aunt to own Barnsley. I do wish you would tell me why.
Do you? Really?
Definitely.
All right, very well. This might be a good time to have it out anyway. Lady Judith, when Aunt Millie first told me about Barnsley, I have to tell you, I was quite inclined to be somewhat annoyed. I mean, it seemed to me to be quite an obvious attempt on the susceptibilities of an otherwise credulous woman.
I don't think I understand.
Then I met you, and and I began to wonder, what, I asked myself, could a charming lady like you be doing mixed up in such a transparent and sordid scheme?
I don't think I like your choice of words there, Mr. Malone.
Sorry, Lady Judith. Look, you're obviously an intelligent woman, so I might as well be frank with you. My aunt is not a stupid woman. When she realizes that she's being defrauded, she's going to be implacable. I mean, I'm just warning you.
Defrauded?
Yes.
What? I see. You don't actually, well, you're not just skeptical, Mr. Malone. You don't actually believe that there's the faintest possibility of there being psychic forces here?
No, I'm sorry, I don't. That was, may I?
Sure. Go ahead.
Look, I'm not so pig-headed as to fail to conceive that there might be vague forces around us that we don't understand. There's absolutely nothing that would convince me that you got a bunch of dead but not gone relatives skulking around here, and it's all just as chummy and charming as a coffee clutch.
Really? Absolutely nothing, then? Isn't that the sign of a closed mind, Mr. Malone? I thought scientists were required to keep their minds open.
Oh, I do. Believe me, I do.
Oh, I'm afraid I can't, Mr. Malone.
You can't. Lady Judith, if you knew what I was working on right now, you would think not only is my mind open, you probably want to have me locked up.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, well then do tell me, or is it very secret?
No, it's well, simply put, it's the transportation of matter by radio waves.
Oh?
All right, I'll simplify it a little bit more.
Yes, please do.
Look, let's just take this glass, for example, okay? It's matter. All matter is made up of energy. Conversely, all energy is matter, right? Also, energy is just another form of electricity. Yeah?
I'm not quite following you, but let's just say I'd rather accept it right now.
Okay. I'll oversimplify it.
Okay.
All matter is, like this glass, is an arrangement of atomic particles. Okay? Now, what if we could take these atomic particles and transform them into electrical impulses? Then we could broadcast this glass from here to Minnesota, where it would be received and reconverted.
Into the identical glass?
Well, probably just a lump of silica.
Really? Is that rather practical then?
It's not supposed to be practical. It's just a theory.
Just,
It's not my theory, but it's a good one.
just a theory. Oh, well, I see that, but so you believe in that theory?
I give it some credence, yes, of course. I mean, that you probably think I'm insane now, right?
Oh, no, I didn't see that. No, not at all. Well, quite honestly, this is way beyond me to understand, but just because I don't understand something doesn't mean that I think it's impossible.
You know something, that is a very rare attitude.
Oh boy, yes, very rare. I think I'll say goodnight to you, Mr. Malone. You know, I should be very angry with you. I don't like being called a fraud, even by a scientist.
I'm sorry, Lady Judith.
No, save your apologies for tomorrow night, when you'll mean every word of them. You're going to look awfully silly, you know?
Lady Judith, please, don't. Can't you see that I like you and that I want to help you? As much as I... I just can't let you get away with it.
Well, of course you can't. But I shall go on with it nonetheless. If you'll excuse me.
Oh, you stupid little fool.
Good night, Mr. Malone. Ooh.
I gotta stop drinking.
La, sir.
Oh, geez,
You are sorely lacking in manners, sir. Now must I tell you to offer me a chair?
won't you sit down?
You are too kind. I do not believe I have had the pleasure. I am the Lady Penelope.
How?
Oh, fiddly-dee, sir. Stop gawking like a village pumpkin.
I'm sorry. You're right. I'm sorry. You startled me coming in like that. You are?
The Lady Penelope. And you?
Malone. Henry Malone. My aunt and I were here visiting Lady Judith. We just got here this evening.
Yes, I know. Won't you take a seat, Mr. Malone?
I'm sorry, Lady Judith didn't say. Well, I didn't know.
Oh, ha. I wager she did not. I fancy Cousin Judith wishes to keep you all to herself. It is not often we have such a gallant at Barnsley.
Thank you, but I think it's just the contrary. I think Lady Judith would rather see the end of me.
Oh, pooh. She is a fool. Now, I, sir, find you quite fascinating.
Well, thank you. I think.
It is plain to see you are a great earl. I suppose a poor country girl seems a poor sad thing in the eyes of London, of the great ladies.
You hardly seem a poor country girl to me. You live here, do you?
Oh, I do not live here, sir. I rot. Have you ever seen a more dismal house?
Well, you certainly seem to have found a way to amuse yourself. That's quite a costume you got on there. Did you get it from one of these ladies?
I do not wear cast-off, sir. This gown was made to me for my measure in London.
Oh.
Do you admire it?
Yes, I mean, it's very nice, yes.
And I may hope to find favor in your eyes?
Yes, sure. Why not? Yeah.
Oh, Lassa, you are lacking a courtier's tongue. Surely you can do better than that.
Well, I'm afraid you're moving a little bit too fast for me.
Tell me, sir, do you not find me fair?
Oh, yes. Wait. What is this? Come on now. Is this some kind of a game you're playing here? I mean, you're all togged up with what?
Oh, sir, you really are a fool. Well, no matter. Fool or no, you come from London. Tell me of that then, pray you. Is it as gay as ever? Oh, and the court, how goes it at the court?
I don't know. I didn't get to court.
Oh, not to court. Are you out of favor then? Oh, Lord, what a pity to miss the balls and the gaiety. Would you believe that I have not been to London since the Great Fire?
The fire.
Surely, even in the colonies you've heard of the Great Fire, half of London was destroyed.
Oh, you mean the Blitz? Yes, I heard that.
Blitz. I know not the word. I mean the fire. Faith. Oh, flames, such flames. Oh, the sky so red. I did not think that I was going to live through it. Oh, and the sky with great burning cinders. Oh, that fell and clung to you. I ran for hours trying to escape with the smoke. Oh, the fearful black smoke blinding me, choking me. Oh. Fair unhinged I was when they brought me back to Barnsley.
Sounds like quite an experience. How did you get in here? I mean, where did you come from, huh?
Tell you a secret, sir. They locked me in the tower, but I was too clever for them.
Oh, good Lord.
Oh, what's the matter, sir?
I think I'd better get your cousin.
Oh, no, sir, please, I beg you. They beat me.
Beat you? Who beat you? Your nurse?
Well, she fancies herself my nurse
Oh,
maid.
you poor thing, you.
There you are, you devil.
Stay away from me.
It's okay, Judith. Take it easy. I think I'd better take you back to your room.
How dare thee dematerialize this instant?
I will not. You cannot make me.
Oh, can't I indeed?
Hold on.
It's okay. I don't want to make you do anything. I just want to help you, really. It's going to be all right.
Fool, would you have her disappear in front of his eyes? Send him away, child.
I will not. I will not be ordered about.
No, look, I don't want to order you to do anything. Take you to your room, okay? You'll be all right. I just want to help you.
You see these nails, Gritty? Get rid of him or I'll cut thy lovely face to ribbons.
What's the matter now?
Methinks you best go, sir.
Go? And leave you? Well, no, I won't go. Of course not.
Please, sir. I beg you.
Look, let me just see you to your room, okay?
The poor fool, he thinks she's mad.
That's ridiculous.
No, it's not ridiculous. It makes perfectly good sense. You probably should not be out wandering about this time of night, huh?
Please, sir. You return to your chamber, and I'll to mine.
And your nurse will be there, And she'll take care of you?
No, she's there.
She'll take care of thee too, you vixen.
I don't know that I should do that.
Sir, you are a gentleman, and I shall be forever grateful.
You promise you'll go right to your room.
You have my word, sir.
All right, then. Good night. It's nice to meet you.
It was a pleasure indeed, sir.
Now, to the tower, my friend.
Ah, 'tis the mail, and as yet unopened. What tidings doth it bring, do you suppose? 'Tis from a woman.
Dearest Judith, I am having tea Tuesday for Lady Bathminster, and I'd so like you to come.
Huh! Bathminster? And Elliot drink tea with a Bathminster? Rogues and rascals, everyone.
General Elliot, I want to talk to you.
And I
Ah!
do.
Oh, wicked old man, you meant to frighten me.
Watch thy tongue, child.
I have every right to be angry with you. What do you mean by not appearing when I called you?
It is for thine own good, child, just to save you from the consequences of thine own wicked greed.
What did I do?
For shame. Selling your family like chattel.
Oh dear, that's not true, and you know it.
It is so true, and 'tis heartless to boot. Oh, have pity on us, child. Are we not all Elliots together?
General, please don't talk like that. I'm only trying to do what's best for all of us. What? My letters? Oh God, you are up to it again.
It is for thine own good, child.
Oh, stop it. I suppose it was for my own good that you smashed up my new wireless too.
The talking box? Aye. It was an instrument of Satan, child.
Why do I even bother trying to reason with you? There's no point in it.
We are ever reasonable, mistress. Remember, we have older, wiser heads than thine.
Lady Hortense put you up to it, didn't she?
Nay, 'twas my decision. I'm the master here.
Then why don't you act like one, instead of letting that meddlesome old woman tell you what to do. It was her idea, admit it.
Mayhap it was, but I agreed.
Because you're afraid of her. How dare you let a woman order you about, and you, a general? I'm ashamed of you.
It is all right for you to be so bold. I have to live with her
Well,
century upon century. The old hag. It's only prudent to keep the peace.
well, no, I think it all the more reason to stand up to her. Please, General, do this for me. It's very important. I'm not asking that much, only to appear once on the terrace.
No, enough!
Ah! Oh, God, I hate when you do that. Jeez.
Now you listen to me, milady. There will be no manifestations and no selling of Barnsley to this woman, and that's an end on it.
Now, hear me
Oh, in
out.
heaven's name, child, wilt thou chain us to a mad woman?
Oh, don't be absurd. She's quite sane.
Oh, indeed. She is in her chamber as we speak, bellowing for a hog. Sane.
What? A hog? No. Oh, no, no, a hawk. Yes, bleating hawk. It's just her guide. She's just wanting to get advice. You wouldn't understand, believe me.
Indeed, I would not. But you understand this. She is not to have Barnsley.
General, you need to stand with me on this. If we both oppose her, then there's nothing...
Nay, child, I'm sorry, I cannot.
Very well. I'm warning you, both of you. I'm fully as stubborn as you. If you think I'll let you stand in the way of me selling Barnsley, well, and far as letting that American slander the name of Elliot.
What's this?
Yes, did you hear that? He thinks me a common little criminal, no thanks to you. How do you like having the noble name of Elliot besmirched?
The knave, by my troth. He'll answer for this.
Yes. You go up there. You go up and give him the what for, General. Oh no, the idiot will think it's a dream. Listen, I have a better way. Appear tomorrow night and show him up for a fool.
So that's your game, is it? Pay her no heed, you slack-witted milksop. What matters the opinion of this colonist? He'll be gone tomorrow and that mad woman with him, and good riddance. Now enough of this. Come along.
I'm sorry, child. Perhaps it's for the best.
Very well. We know where we don't. We know where we stand, don't we? There must be a way to sell Barnsley. There must, and I will stay right here until I think of it.
Forget you not. 'Tis a family decision. 'Tis your duty to abide it. Indeed, you've no choice, child. Good night.
Oh, you old witch!
For shame, child, your own honoured ancestor. Oh, but it's so true.
General Elliot!
Coming, gracious madam, coming. 'Twas on the stroke of midnight that Mad Meg appeared on the great staircase. Again she slowly descended, a mad glint in her fixed and glassy eyes. Again her blood-drenched fingers clutched at the dagger protruding from her breast. Again the air was made terrible by her fearful shrieks. At the foot of the staircase crouched Lady Agatha, her face transfixed by fear, her limbs incapable of motion. Oh no, I can read no further. 'Tis much too horrible.
Oh, Sir Thomas, go on, I beg you.
Oh, all right, I should not, but...
It would disturb me more if you did not let me know the fate of Lady Agatha.
Here goes. Slowly the frightful spectre crept towards the terror-crammed maiden. Closer, ever closer, until Lady Agatha could feel the succubber's icy breath upon her paralyzed flesh, could feel the rotting shrouds brush against her cheek, and then, with an awful howl of triumph, Mad Meg pulled the bloody weapon free from her and brandished it over Lady Agatha's head. She dared not breathe. She dared not...
Enough of this! What rubbish is this?
Oh, go on, Sir Thomas.
We have found the most fascinating folio. It speaks of ghouls of which I ne'er dreamed.
Oh, it will freeze your morrow.
Give me the volume. Give it to me, I tell thee.
Twill do no harm, madam.
You are an old sportsman.
Did you say no harm?
No harm.
Really? Thou find no harm in scurrilous slander. Chapter 7. The terrible tale of Sir Francis the Fiend, being an account of the devilish deeds of the ruthless rider of Ruggensgate. 'Tis defamation of the basest sort. I know the fellow well. He is no more ruthless than a rabbit.
And so...
It is only fiction and most entertaining.
Oh, enough now. They'll be in shortly to start their prying.
Take the wench away. Lock her up till it is over.
Come along.
Oh, please. I promise I will do nothing. I only wish to want to watch the game.
The game.
Aye, the game of love. I fancy Cousin Judith may come to favour the colonist.
Over the weasel? 'Tis too much to hope for.
She would not have the sense.
Oh, love is not a sense. 'Tis sense that throttles it. Sense, pride, and stubbornness. Is that not so, honoured forefather?
Hold thy wagging tongue, Penelope.
I see that you have not held thine. I thought better of you than to parade my sorrow in front of this baggage.
Oh! A secret will not keep 300 years. You loved a lady once, and the damnable Elliot's stubbornness lost her to you. 'Tis hardly a matter of moment.
I was not stubborn. 'Twas the wench's fault.
Indeed. I was there, you know. Nearly half-century dead, 'tis true. But I overheard thy silly lovers quarrel. Heard the maid call thee a fool, and you reply in thy pride that you wish no more of her.
Enough, enough.
I saw how she looked at thee, and tearfully begged for thy forgiveness.
No more, I beg of you.
Not stubborn, you say. What was it then that sealed thy lips? You loved her, yet not one word did you speak, and so she ran away and ne'er came back. But no, 'twas not stubbornness.
Silence! Cease thy prattling, Harridan. 'Tis no wonder thy husband smothered you whilst you slept. 'Twas a temptation no mortal could resist.
How dare thee! Stop, hussy! Sly one setting us at each other's throats so that she might run away.
Oh, leave me be.
So that you might show yourself again, I think not.
Matt, now where did that imp of Satan go?
To the scullery, leave him be. Thank God he lacks the wit to materialize. He'll do no harm, nor will this one.
Oh, please, madam, I shall show bruises for a fortnight.
Come quietly then, if you value thy white skin.
Quickly, woman, get her away.
There you are. Where have you been? I have been trying to get in touch with you all day.
I've been to Aldensbury with the vicar. It's that confounded church committee again. They won't approve the purchase of the purchase because of the drains.
Archie,
And the drains are quite all right. Well, there's a bit of an odor, but
Archie, not now. I'm in frightful trouble.
what kind of trouble?
I spoke to them last night, Archie. They refused to cooperate in any way.
But they're required to obey you. That's it's traditional.
Well, they've up and decided to scrap tradition. They mean to defy me so long as Miss Malone is here.
What bloody cheek. If they haven't harmed us enough already, well, we're bushed. Utterly bushed.
I'm afraid we are. After all, we can't very well manufacture phenomenon, can we?
Of course not.
Although I had considered it, since so many thousands of pounds are at stake, and well, there's all those costumes up in the tower trunk room. I thought of having Etta just slip one on and flit through the dark or something, but I decided it would smack too much of fraud.
Yes, of course. Hold on, Judith. Wait a minute. It wouldn't be fraud at all. I mean, they are here, aren't they?
Well, yes, but oh no, we couldn't.
Why not? I mean, there's so much at stake, Judith.
But could we bring it off?
Well, of course. That woman's absolutely dotty on the subject. Well, she would believe anything.
Do you really think it's such a good risk?
Judith, there's so much at stake.
Very well, if you think so, we'll chance it. But there's one difficulty. Etta refuses.
Coward.
Yes.
Well, it was a good idea at any rate.
You know, I would do it in a minute if I thought I could get away with it, but I'm the hostess and, well, you have to preside. Yes, but,
No, Judith.
you know what? You don't really have to now, do you? Yes, I could say that you couldn't come tonight.
No, Judith, I don't
Yes,
think
you
that
could be the general. The general. That'd be perfect. There is a costume right there in the leather trunk. It's right there on top for you.
No, Judith, I don't want to do that. On top, is it? Oh, so this was a trap from the moment I walked into the door.
No.
Admit it.
Yes, it was. I should never have considered it. You're so clever.
You never even mentioned it to Etta, did you?
No, I didn't. I lied to you, Archie. I'm sorry, but I thought of asking Etta, but she couldn't pull it off. She'd trip or something. You're the only one who's clever enough.
Oh, no, you don't, my pet. Not that way, you don't.
But Archie, you thought it a wonderful idea earlier. You can't refuse.
For Etta, yes. For me, no.
Oh, Archie, you're not a coward, are you?
I most certainly am. Cowardice, my dear Judith, is man's last line of defense against women such as you. Foul though it is, I embrace it shamelessly.
But you can't. You must do this for me, please.
No, hold on. It's not the end of the world if she doesn't buy the place. I mean, we'll pass it off on someone sooner or later.
It's not just that. What? How would you feel if someone called you a nasty little, sneaky little fraud?
Spiteful, I should think. Who on earth called you that?
Mr. Malone. Not in those words exactly, but since he knows for a fact there couldn't possibly be any spirits here, he naturally assumes I'm a contemptible fraud. And you too, of course.
Stupid ass. As long as he's wrong, I'm sure it doesn't matter what he thinks.
Oh, well, I'm sorry, but I do care. I won't draw a happy breath until I see him humbled. Abjectly humbled. Quiveringly humbled.
If I didn't know you so well, my pet, I might easily become jealous.
Oh, don't be so absurd. He's perfectly insufferable. Every time I see him, I want to hit him.
Yes. That's cinema's first line of attraction. No,
What are you
I'm not
talking
going to be
about?
made a fool of, just so Mr. Malone can...
Oh, well, Archie, if you won't cooperate, I shall turn Barnsley over to the government first thing in the morning.
And toss away a small fortune. Don't be foolish.
I mean it, Archie.
You're just being spiteful now, Judith.
Of course I am. Spiteful and foolish. They're frightful traits, I know, but I can't control them. And you, as my level-headed businessman and future husband, it's your duty, to protect me from the consequences of my folly.
Now see here.
What?
That's
No,
not.
come on, listen to me. It's not that hard, really. Listen, all you have to do is sneak around the side door, right? Go up to the tower room, put on the costume, come down at the proper time, and appear for a moment on the landing. It's simple as that.
Simple? Simple? And what on earth am I supposed to do on the landing?
I don't know. You think of something. You're clever.
Much obliged,
Stop
I'm
your
sure,
jabbering.
Judith.
Really, it's not that hard.
Oh, hello, Malone.
Andrews? Yeah, I'm, sorry, Judith, but Aunt Millie sent me down to find you. I'm afraid she's getting a little impatient.
I'm sorry. Archie just came by to tell me he couldn't make it tonight.
Oh, that's too bad.
We'll just have to do the best we can without him. Run along, Archie.
No,
You mustn't
wait
be
a
late.
minute, Judith.
Good night, Archie. I know you'll put over that deal.
The deal? Oh, yes, the deal.
Good night, Archie. Archie had a big deal that came up that he has to attend to.
Oh, I see.
I'll go get Mrs. Malone. We'll get right on with the seance, shall we?
Yes. Judith, just a moment. I've really been wanting to talk to you all day.
Well, I was under the impression that we had been talking all day.
You mean that we've been listening to Aunt Millie talk all day? It's just that I wanted to tell you that I'm not going to get in the way of Aunt Millie buying Barnsley.
Oh, were you not?
No. If she should ask my opinion, I'll merely say that Barnsley is as fully haunted as any other place in England. After all, if she doesn't buy Barnsley, it'll be someplace else. And I want you to have the money.
I don't think I like being patronized, Mr. Malone. I shan't starve. There's always the coal pits.
No, Lady Judith. What I meant is, well, I should have known all along that you had some compelling reason for doing what you are doing. I'm always sorry that you couldn't confide in me.
Confide what in you, Mr. Malone?
Oh, I don't blame you. I mean, I know I'm practically a stranger, although I don't feel like one. You know, right from the start, I felt there was something. Judith, you should have known. You should have known that you could confide in me, that you could trust me.
What? I don't understand what
You should have known that I'd understand.
What? I understand what?
How hard it must have been for you, taking care of her all these years.
Now, hold on. Taking care of whom or what, yes?
Your cousin, Judith. Penelope.
What? Penelope?
Yes.
You saw?
I met her here.
Heavens!
When?
Oh, really?
Right after you left.
Were you terribly frightened? Oh, God, I hope
wasn't
so. I would have
frightened.
given anything to have been there. Damn it.
Judith, please, no. Come on, I wasn't frightened at all. No. No, it's pitiful, I know.
What? What's pitiful about that?
Judith, please. I mean, let's just be honest with one another, huh? I mean,
I have always been honest with you, Mr. Malone.
then don't be ashamed about Penelope.
Why?
I mean, look, don't you see, I understand now why you would do almost anything to see that she was, well, taken care of. And I'm on your side. Oh, it's tragic, I know, but Judith, it could happen to anyone.
Wait a minute. Am I to understand that you think my cousin Penelope is insane?
No, I didn't say that. But, well, let's just say that she lives in a different world. That's all. I mean, it was the Blitz, wasn't it?
No, it was not the Blitz. Dear Mr. Malone, Penelope died in 1673. She tripped on that staircase and she broke her neck. She's been here with the others ever since.
Judith, please. I mean, the way you say that, it sounds almost as though you actually believed
But
it.
of course I actually believe it. I actually believe it. I've known Penelope all my life.
Judith,
We used to
please.
play together. She's very nice and quite fascinating. You know, she would tell you things about Charles II that would make your eyes pop.
Judith, come
Things that aren't even in those books at all.
Please, Judith. I mean, come on now. I mean, the way you say that, if I didn't know you better, I'd think that you were.
Good heavens,
mean,
now I
come on.
suppose you think I'm insane too.
Of course not. I don't think that.
I
Just
do
you
believe you
sound
did
so
say
damn
that.
convincing.
You did say that.
I didn't say that.
You know what?
What?
It's quite possibly true. I might actually be insane. Seeing how father died and all that, simply stalking her. Did you hear the stories?
No.
And then there's my poor, demented cousin living up there in the attic.
Judith, come on,
It's so out of
please.
control.
Please.
And then there's...
Judith.
You know what? You have nothing to be alarmed about, Mr. Malone. My doctor, the well-renowned doctor, says, besides the hallucinations I have every once in a while, I quite know them.
Judith, come on, please. Now, look. I know you're kidding, okay? I know you're kidding, but please stop it. Judith, can't you guess why I'm so anxious to help you? I mean, don't you see that? Don't you understand that I know what it is you're doing here?
I'm not interested in you, Mr. Malone.
Oh, here you are. I'm so anxious to begin. Hasn't Mr. Andrews arrived yet?
Well, yes, he said he couldn't stay with us tonight. He was terribly sorry. A big deal came up.
Oh, that's a shame. We'll miss him. A big deal, is it?
I rather think so, yes.
Yeah, I would say so, judging by the state of his nerves when he left here. I think it's something like blowing the vaults at the Bank of England.
Well, that just leaves 3 of us then. They won't like 3, believe me. We should have at least 4.
Well, I do.
How about Ella?
Oh, no.
Of course, why not?
Very well, I'll go see if she's not too busy.
Oh, Henry can get things ready. All right, Henry, just what are you up to?
Apparently, I'm up to getting chairs again.
That's not what I mean, and you know it. I'm talking about Lady Judith.
What about her?
What's going on between you 2?
Absolutely nothing.
Oh. She's a nice girl, Henry, and very attractive.
Oh, yeah, I suppose she is.
Is that all?
What do you mean?
Oh, I just rather thought you might be falling in love with her.
Oh, for God's sake, whatever gave you that idea?
Oh, I don't know. Perhaps it's the greedy gleam in your eye whenever you look at her.
That is not a greedy gleam.
Well, whatever it is, you're obviously interested.
Aunt Millie, that's crazy. I mean, after all, she's engaged to Andrews.
Since when did that ever stop them alone?
They're in love, Aunt Millie?
They don't very much act like it.
Well, of course not. They're British. Besides, the truth is, I just don't want the woman. I mean, to tell you the truth, I think she's a little off kilter. You know what I mean? She is a little out of, you know. The problem, I don't trust her. I think that sometimes she comes up with things.
If
says
she's
something,
got you
and
that
she's-
stirred up, you must be interested.
No.
For the life of me, I don't know why you're fighting it so
Aunt
hard.
Millie, will you just leave it alone if you say one more word?
I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right. Come right in. Henry was just about to be unpleasant.
Yes, that I was.
Is Etta going to join us?
Yes, she'll be right out.
Oh, that's fine. I understand you're going to be joining us, Etta.
Yes, ma'am, I'd be pleased to.
Oh, that's nice. Now don't be afraid. There's nothing to be afraid about.
Begging your pardon, ma'am. Now, there is one of them that will give you trouble.
Is that so? Which one?
That would be Matt, ma'am. He's a real terror when, sometimes.
Well, don't you worry. It's all about keeping them under control. There won't be any hostile activity while I'm presiding. I promise you that.
No, wait. You're going to be the interlocutor?
Mrs. Malone, perhaps I know them so well.
Oh,
I mean,
but I'd rather if you don't mind.
Yes, of course, but I still think it's
Well,
just
I
really...
don't like to say this, Lady Judith. I think your young man's a dear, but between you and me and the lamppost, he doesn't know the first thing about producing phenomena.
Oh, he doesn't?
Oh, no, I knew it the minute he left the lamp on. They can't stand electricity, you know.
They don't.
And confidentially, he wasn't emanating last night. Not in the least.
You know, I felt that too.
Being psychic myself, I knew right away what the problem was, but I wouldn't hurt the dear boy's feelings for the world.
Very considerate of you, Mrs. Malone.
But don't you worry. If there are any active forces operating here, I'll rock them out in a jiffy. Get the candles, Henry.
Ma'am, what would you like me to do?
Well, I'd like you to sit right there, and then I want you all to hold hands and think of absolutely nothing.
And Millie, that's impossible, and you know it.
For you, perhaps. The next best thing would be to imagine you're floating in an ocean of warm mineral oil.
Floating nicely.
In other words, all I want from the three of you is what I call amorphous plasticity.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, are we ready?
No, we're not ready. I can't. I'm in amorphous plasticity mode.
Okay,
Quite ready now.
then here we go.
Amorphosizing.
See there, they have commenced as I told you.
Peace, madam, we've not missed much. And what, pray tell, are thee doing, Sir Lackwit Rattlepate?
Do they sleep or is it some manner of game?
Seance, they call it.
They hold hands, why is that?
Some pagan hocus pocus, I've no doubt.
In truth, I think they are asleep. This one breathes like a bellows.
If there is any entity here tonight, will it please make itself felt?
Oh, zoons, must need she howl in my ear.
Then keep thine ears to thyself.
Oh, my head still rings.
If any entity is here tonight, will it please make itself felt?
Oh, in truth, I do not feel well.
Nor do I, come to think on't. My head whirls and my ears roar like a hurricane.
Thou as well? I cannot fathom it.
Make yourself felt, I said.
That is that one. She's bewitched us.
Aye, 'tis some manner of sorcery. Feel a strange power emanating from her. It draws me like a magnet.
Oh, resist it, woman! Oh, it is a battle of wills. If we weaken, we are lost.
If there is any present, here I command it to give us a sign.
Fool, don't pass! To the scullery!
Oh, the door again. I just knew there was something here, all right. Do you wish to speak with us?
We most certainly do not.
If you wish to speak with us, please signify by one tap.
One tap indeed. Ah,
Do you not feel her power waning?
aye. We are victorious.
One tap if you wish to communicate.
Oh, enough of thy caterwauling.
Ah.
What was that?
Thank you. Now I'm going to ask you some questions, and I want you to answer one tap for yes and two taps for no. Do you understand?
It comes from the stairs.
Perhaps it's Bleeding Hawk. Is that Bleeding Hawk? Oh, no, it isn't. Oh, are you one of the spirits of Barnsley? Which one are you? Are you Matt? Are you
Lady Penelope?
are you Lady Penelope? Are you
General Elliot.
are you General Elliot?
Imposter!
Thank you, General. Now, General, tell me, are you happy?
I am in perfect happiness, madam, I can assure you.
Are the others unhappy? Are they unhappy because the world doesn't believe in them? I knew it!
Oh, it does not concern us in the least.
Would it ease your suffering if I would buy Barnsley and prove to the world that you do exist? Oh, this is too wonderful.
Go see what it is that falsifies us upon the stair and put an end to it.
'Tis very dark.
I want to ease your pain, General. But before I buy Barnsley, I must insist on some more conclusive phenomena. Will you appear before us?
Now this I desire to see.
You'll appear so that we can all see? You'll appear now? Where? On the stairs? We should watch the stairs, General? We're watching the stairs.
I as well as you.
That's him, all right.
Oh, good Lord.
Good heavens! An actual apparition! I never thought I'd live to see it.
It is thee, by my troth.
I? How can it be I? How dare you mock me, sir?
He does not hear. He is mortal then. Well, up to him, sluggard.
Will you want to speak to us, General?
Aye.
By my life! 'Tis the weasel himself.
Run him through where he stands.
Don't me, madam.
Tell me, General, do you want me to buy Barnsley?
Aye.
So this is the game our mistress plays, is it?
Oh, will you welcome my scientists?
Aye.
Then it is settled. I will buy it. Thank you, General.
You hear that?
Aye, we've met our end. We've met our match at last.
Thank thee, madam.
Your sword, give it to me.
Nay, madam.
I say, give it to me.
Oh, God.
Good heavens!
That. I'll get the light.
So he dared betray us, did he?
Sit down, Henry.
Mark me. His blood is on thine hands.
No, you must, it is part of his routine. How he died up on the stairs, isn't it, Ella?
Yes, ma'am. That's right.
Henry, be quiet. I'll have order here.
Something is wrong here. But
No,
he hasn't moved. No, I think I'd better go,
no, stay where you are. Sometimes he lies there for like half an hour at a time. We mustn't disturb him. Henry,
Sit down, Henry. I'll have order here, I said.
Oh, Judith.
Oh, good
happened
God.
to my head?
So,
It's...
it's our friend Mr. Andrews, is it? Get the lights, Henry.
Say, what happened? What hit me?
You can get up now, old boy.
You've tried to defraud me. That's what you've done.
I say, I've rather boggled it, haven't I?
Oh, brother.
You knew all about this, of course.
Of course.
What have you got to say?
There doesn't seem to be too much to say. They wouldn't appear for me, those miserable creatures. They wouldn't appear at all for you, and so I thought maybe I could just,
Did you see it?
See what?
One of the filthy beggars tricked me. The general himself, I would imagine.
Oh, good grief.
But he did. He stuck his sword in between my ankles.
Oh, what kind of fool do you take me for?
But why else would I have fallen? I grabbed for it as I went down. Well, look, the sword, it cut my hand.
Oh, gee, it's no use now.
Will that be all, my lady?
Yes. Eddie, you may go now.
If I could get my fingers around that ogre's neck, just for one moment.
All I can say, Lady Judith, is that I'm shocked and stunned.
Don't blame me, Mrs. Malone, not in the least.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to file charges with the police. It's my duty, you understand.
Yes, quite.
In the States, I usually nail people like you on willful fraud with intent to extort. They get anywhere from 3 to 10 years. I understand it's even stricter in England, but I'll have to do my duty nevertheless.
No, just.
Oh,
just a minute.
shut up,
Millie?
Henry. Under the circumstances, I naturally can't accept your hospitality a moment longer.
Naturally.
There's an inn in the village, isn't there?
Yes.
Then we'll leave as soon as I can get packed. Come along, Henry.
You go ahead, Aunt Millie. I'll be up in a moment.
Creatures like you two are a stench in the nostrils of psychic research.
I say, is she serious? About the police, I mean.
Deadly serious.
Well, look, old boy, you've got to do something. Judith can't go to jail.
Judith. Judith? Yeah, it's funny here all along. I thought this whole thing was your idea.
Rubbish. She put me up to the whole thing.
Gee, I think you better go back.
I'll go
Gee.
if, when, and if I please, my pet.
Archie, please, I will take full responsibility for tonight. Of course I put you up to
Yes,
it.
I know, but that's...
And you did beautifully.
Yes. That was quite a performance, old boy. For a moment there, I was quite rigid, yes.
Really?
Well, yeah.
Well, if it would have been for that bloody beggar...
Archie, we will have it out later. You know, in a way, you're lucky. He might have run you right through.
No, okay, Judith. Good Lord. He might have, mightn't he?
That was perfectly beastly of you.
Just an experiment.
I did put him up to it.
Mm.
What did you expect him to lie?
Well, it is sometimes done by lovers.
Oh, God. Sentimental nonsense, that is. Do you dare suggest that I'd let a man take my punishment for me? Suppose he probably will take punishment, the blame and all. Once he's himself again. Oh, he must have had a nasty crack there on the stairs.
Yes.
Well, go on. I know full well what you're thinking.
Do you?
You thought all along that I was a despicable fraud, and now you've proved it. Must make you very happy.
Not particularly.
Well, isn't it a relief to know that I'm sane, at least? A loathsome criminal, of course, but at least sane.
Judith, I never thought you were insane.
Did? You did too. You know you did. You know, I have never been so furious.
You were? What in the hell did you have to be furious
I
about?
don't want to talk about it, Henry. I think you better go. Go leave, go pack. Just, I don't want to talk about it.
Judith, I'm not leaving.
Not leaving, why not?
Because, Judith, well, because I'm afraid that I've fallen in love with you.
God, did you just say what you just said?
I know it sounds ridiculous, but I'm
Well,
afraid I can't help it.
well, if it's as painful as all that,
No,
maybe
no,
that's not Professor
It is
Love.
not at all painful, Judith. No. Judith, just a couple of minutes ago, I saw you exposed as a, well, you said it yourself, a despicable fraud. And you know what? Something amazing happened. All of a sudden, I didn't give a damn. All I could think of was that I wanted to take you into my arms and hold you and tell you that nothing else really mattered except that I love you.
That's really very touching, Henry. Considering how contemptible you must think me.
No, just forget all that and realize that I love you.
Archie, I don't, Henry, I don't know what to say to you. I'm confused.
No,
It's
no,
just that-
I understand, Judith.
Henry, I'm
It is silly of
engaged
me
to
think that
Archie.
You
Have you
could feel the
forgotten?
same way I do. I understand.
Archie,
Don't-
I'm engaged. God, Henry, I engaged to Archie. And I really don't even know you very well. God, we don't even like each other. Do we?
It's okay, Judith. You needn't make excuses. I understand. I'll go back.
But Henry.
No, it's all right, Judith. Forget it. Don't forget it. Forget it.
Henry. Henry. I don't want you to go.
You don't? You.
Oh, my darling. What on earth am I going to do now?
Well, first thing is we've got to tell Archie the truth. Tell him that you just can't help yourself any more than I can. What you've done here tonight, darling, doesn't mean a thing. I adore you. I mean, after all, this is not the first despicable thing that you've ever done. And
Henry, if you've just opened your mind just a little bit.
don't you see, darling? Don't you see that if my love can stand up for you under this tonight, it can stand up under anything.
Really, Henry, you needn't count on me being as depraved as all that.
No. What I mean, darling, is that, well, what good is love if it turns up its toes and expires the second the loved one does something contemptible?
Oh, I wish you would use that word in every other sentence.
But it's your word, darling.
It's not my word. I didn't say I was contemptible. I merely said you must think me contemptible.
Oh, sweetheart, just forget all this sordidness and realize that I love you. And don't worry your pretty little head, Aunt Millie won't prosecute, I promise. I'll see to it.
Thank you for that, Henry.
What's the matter? Isn't everything all right?
No. If only your forgiveness could be seasoned with just a dash of understanding, really.
But I do understand, darling.
Don't understand at all. You don't. You merely believe I was trying to defraud your aunt.
Look, as silly as it may sound, I do, but don't you see I can understand why, darling? I mean, don't you
God,
know
if you
that
bring
I-
up my cousin again, I swear I shall strike you.
Look, darling, what else can I do but forgive you?
But you don't forgive me.
Of course I do.
Forgiveness implies trust.
Well, I do trust you.
To you?
Yes.
Would you trust me if I swore on my sacred honor that Barnsley is haunted?
Yes. If you say so, darling, I'll take your word.
And that I am therefore not actually defrauding your aunt.
Yes.
And that I therefore do not so desperately need your forgiveness, or anyone else for that matter. After all.
Yes. That too, okay?
You don't really
Now,
believe any such thing, do you?
Of course I do.
You don't.
I said I did.
You
didn't
don't, but you don't mean it. I refuse to be humored by
I?
you,
Of
Henry.
course I don't believe it, not any more than you do.
Oh, that
what?
does
This
it!
moment, what?
That really does
For
it!
God's sake, Judith, all that matters is that I love
I
you.
know that! Yes, I know! You love Judith, be she ever so wild! There's
Please.
no one like Judith!
Judith,
She's so
come
utterly
on.
and completely and thoroughly innocent, but your moral fiber is so weak that you can't resist
But
me, is that
Judith,
right?
come on.
Oh, be quiet, Henry!
Henry.
You won't have to struggle with yourself any longer.
Wait a minute, where are you going?
For an extremely long walk! I shan't return before you leave.
Oh, for God's sake, Judith, come on.
Don't try to talk me out of this. I cannot change my mind. You know what, being an Elliot, I couldn't if I chose to, so don't try it.
And you don't.
I don't at all. Goodbye, Henry.
Judith! Come get... Oh, for God's sakes.
So they want a war, do they? Well, they're jolly well gonna get one. Let's see here. Exorcism. Yeah. 4 boughs of juniper. That's simple enough. A bell from the neck of a white cow. Of course, the kernels. For a thorough exorcism, it is necessary to encircle the structure before the ceremony, taking care to... Aho! Slam on the doors you like, you filthy beggars! In a few minutes, you will be out of here forever!
Penelope! Are you here, dear child? Penelope, child!
Well, Lord Slackwit, hast thou found her?
Not as yet, good madam.
Numbskull. 'Tis safe to unchain her, is it? They will have left by now, will they? That monstrous woman is yet in her room. She'll be packing till dawn, 'tis likely. And that vixen has to say but one word to ruin us all.
Stay on guard in front of the old front door then, good madam, and I'll comb the house once more.
And you'll find her, fool, or 'twill be our end.
Penelope! Are you here, sweet child? Henry, shut up. Henry, come on. Henry, into the car.
Hello, Andrews. I really hadn't expected the pleasure again.
I thought you'd left.
No, Aunt Millie's got 2 more bags yet to pack. So what do you got there? Wait. You're making another costume, right? Another disguise? Well, let's see. What part would you use underbrush for? No. Don't tell me.
If you really must know, I'm going to perform an exorcism.
No. And get rid of your little pets? Come on, Andrews. The gig is up. That goose has been cooked. Look, my Aunt Millie may be a little wacky, but she's never going to fall for this mumbo-jumbo.
Well, this isn't for her benefit, I assure you. I'm just sick and tired of these beggars messing things up.
Oh, for God's sake, Andrews, give it up.
You know, I don't care if you believe it or not. When I'm finished, Barnsley will be finished with these nasty beggars forever.
No, for God's sake. Judith really has done a job on you, hasn't she, Andrews? Where are you going now?
Well, if you really must know, I'm going to round the house once, creating a circle they can't cross.
Oh, for God's sake, Andrews, come on. I never thought you were this far gone.
You know, it would give me great pleasure to bust your jaw about right now, but I've got to get this done before Judith returns.
I'll be damned.
La, sir!
Don't!
Oh, you must stop him!
Where
I
did
beg
you come
you!
from?
Oh, please, sir, you must stop him! I beg you!
It's
Please
all
help
right.
us!
It's
Before
all
it's too
right.
late!
You have nothing to worry about. Look, let's just sit down here and talk things over nice and calm.
Truly, there's no time for chatter, sir. Oh, here's the bell! Oh, the terrible
Look,
bell!
pay no attention to that crackpot. He's not going to hurt you. Look, just sit down here. Let's talk this out. Come on, that's it. Oh, you poor kid. I can see that they've got you half scared out of your wits. Oh.
But he'll return, sir.
And if he comes back, I'll protect you, I promise.
You must protect the others, too. I do not love them, but I cannot wish for such an end for them.
The others?
Lady Hortense, the General, and Matt.
Look, Penelope, you're a little confused. I mean, I can imagine in this house that you've had quite an earful of talk of ghosts and specters and
Oh,
such, but...
you mean Mad Maxa, who walks about with a dagger in her breast? Oh, yes, oh indeed, I was affronted.
Oh, for God's sake, that Judith ought to be shot. Penelope, will you believe me when I tell you that there are no such thing as ghosts? They simply don't exist.
Oh, indeed, they do exist. I know most certainly that they do exist.
Penelope, listen, for certain reasons, your cousin Judith has pretended that there are ghosts here in Barnsley. And after all, she can be persuasive. Look what she's done to crazy old Andrews out there. I can see why you'd be confused.
No, sir, 'tis you who are confused. Oh, he returned, sir.
It's
Oh,
all right. He won't hurt you, I promise.
Oh, you please, you must try to understand.
I do understand, Penelope,
Oh, no,
honey.
you do not. Please, he's behind. Oh, please, sir, stop him.
Andrews, will you cut it out, damn it? You're scaring the wits out of this poor girl.
Stay out of this, Malone. I know what I'm doing.
But this poor girl is just... Wait. Where'd she go? Penelope, honey, where are you? Hey, where did that girl go? Look, in her state of mind, she could do almost anything. Penelope, honey, where are you?
All right, now, let's you do that.
The witch is here, madam. I found her.
Oh, sir, here, look.
Take the long branches of juniper, which you cut from a graveyard at full moon. Well, that's not where I got these, but well, they'll have to serve.
Madam, he has the juniper.
No, he could not.
Oh, sire, we are lost.
Hold it in the right hand straight before you. Then slowly wave it from side to side as you recite the exorcism. Well, that seems a little ridiculous, but I suppose they know what they're doing.
My God, he shall not. I'll stop him.
To the heart.
Well, here we go. Ruet caelum lingae maledicti, et exercere sentenus infernum.
Strike, thou lily-livered coward, strike!
My arm, eh? Dost not obey me.
Satanus et adverti, diaboli, cave.
Oh, alas, the magic words.
Absit invidia, absit omen, aqua et lingae interdictus.
Go back, Max. Save thyself, lad.
Ipso jure, in saecula saecularum, toto cave, Satanus infernum Satanus.
Archie, what the devil are you doing?
Keep out of this, Judith.
Oh,
Cave,
Stop it!
spiritus.
You hear me? Stop it!
Damn it all. Now I've got to start all over again.
You do nothing of the kind.
Oh. Heaven.
Just here we are saved.
How dare you? You know how I feel about this. If I hadn't heard the bell, oh God, it makes me sick just to think about it.
As do I. Oh, what a fright he gave us. My limbs still tremble.
I've humored you long enough, Judith. As a future convict, I think I have a right to put my foot down.
You won't go to jail. Henry said he'd see to it that you didn't prosecute.
Oh, that's all fine and good. I'm just sick of those monsters. I'm not going to put up with it any longer. It's either me or them.
Listen to the fiend.
I could never do that to them. You know that, never.
Oh, hear that?
Yes. So you'd toss me over for those fiends, would you?
Archie, has it come to that?
Yes, I think you might at that. Something's come over you, Judith, ever since you went to London. Could it be Malone?
Don't be foolish. I detest him.
Oh, pooh, she lies.
Yes. Yes, I should think so. What is it then?
Perhaps I'm not the girl you took me for, Archie. Thought he doubt I'd make a good wife after all.
Out with it, girl. Send the lout packing.
Nonsense. Everyone has doubts now and then. It's perfectly normal. But with a little effort, it can always be overcome.
Perhaps I don't want to overcome them, Archie. Archie, don't you see? I I couldn't stand being dull and respectable.
Well, just because one is respectable doesn't mean one is dull. Some of the dullest people I know are also the most disreputable.
Mom, what a tepid lover.
Gee. Have we ever been in love? I mean, are we in love now? I don't.
Yes, of course.
Oh, easy, lad. You'll sweep her off her feet.
I'm not so sure, Archie.
Look, you know, it's been a nasty night, Judith, and you're upset, and let's just talk about it in the morning.
There's nothing to talk over, Archie. I am serious. I'm
Little does
sorry.
he know the Elliot.
It just, well, we just wouldn't make each other happy, you know? Just wouldn't work out.
Well,
I think it's best we just call the whole thing off here and now.
I tell you, let's mull it over for a couple of
No,
days.
Archie, there is nothing to mull over. I thought about it. It just wouldn't work out.
Judith,
Really.
I don't take you seriously because you don't know what in the world you're.
Oh, dear.
Oh, been there long, Malone?
Had you thought of speaking up, perhaps?
Only to reject it, yes. I mean, after all, when you've steamed open enough envelopes as I have, there's really nothing to a little bit of eavesdropping.
Yes, I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, my.
Well, good night, Judith. Malone,
Andrews?
Good night, Archie, dear.
when you come to your senses, Judith, I expect you to give me a buzz.
Stubborn cuss, isn't he? Well, you're fixing to be one lonely little girl, aren't you? Judith, you're just as well off without him. Trust me. Judith, the man has gone off his nut. I mean, if you'd have seen the look in his eye when he was shaking that damn cowbell around, you'd know what I mean.
I'm leaving now.
It is as pleasant news as I could think of.
Yes, of course.
You may as well know your second attempt to defraud me didn't succeed any more than the first.
I beg your pardon.
Oh, I saw through it in a minute.
What?
Saw through what?
Oh, she had some crazy old man run around under my window ringing a bell.
Hey, Millie, that was Archie.
I might have known. Goodbye, Lady Judith.
Bye.
Come along, Henry. Bring the bags.
You go ahead on out. I'll be out in a minute.
Aye, the lad needs time for his wooing.
I think we better say goodbye. Good night.
The car is ready, Aunt Millie. You go ahead. I'll be out in just a minute.
Leave him be, you old frump. Suit yourself, but don't keep me waiting.
Now, mark me, you'll see a man.
Judith,
What is it?
Judith, this is all wrong. I mean, you're just being stubborn. You know you love me.
That's quite enough, Henry. I'll admit that earlier I felt a sudden rush of affection for you. But after it had subsided, but no thanks to you, it was replaced with a rather aggressive sort of disinterest in you, which I fully expect to take with me to my grave. And that will be all of that, if you please. Goodbye, Henry.
Goodbye, Judith. I don't believe a word of it, and neither do you. But it's perhaps for the best anyway.
A man is he. He hath no more fire than a light.
Don't throw it up, lad.
Judith, there is one more thing I ought to tell you. You're not going to like it, but
Oh, it must be something about my idiot cousin.
please, Judith, look, she got out again last night. And Archie's crazy mumbo-jumbo frightened the heck out of her. Judith, she ran off somewhere. I mean, I went after her, but she got out of the house.
Get out of here, Henry.
Judith, I'm afraid she's going to get into trouble out there in the countryside.
Leave, Henry, I said
All
leave.
right. Okay. All right. Goodbye.
hear that? Oh, the poor, stubborn maid. Stupid baggage. Why did you not appear and end the difficulty?
Are you mad? Would have meant our instant undoing.
Aye, so it would. But what of it, madam? Would she ever love another the way she loves this one? See her tears.
Twaddle. Sentimental twaddle.
Did you not learn to love another, sire?
Nay, child, in all my life 'twas but one voice that quickened my heart, one voice that warmed my blood. 'Twas my own foolish stubbornness that lost my love to me.
I'm such a fool! Such a stupid, stubborn fool!
Nay, child, one cannot call back foolish words, nor think them not. Now, one must try to forget them if one can. All right, just a minute.
I distinctly told you to go!
So I'm a beast. But so help me, interrupt me just one more time, and it's going to be pow, Judith, to the moon.
No, that's the way I love a lad.
Judith, I love you. Judith, I'm not used to this kind of a thing. I'm used to things being calm and reasonable. But Judith, I love you so much.
Oh, don't think, Aunt Lad. Tell her you love her again.
I love you, and All right, I don't care if it does make me look like a fool. I just want you to know, I love you. God knows why.
Hey, lad, leave off the vinegar.
Judith, quit quivering. If I thought I could knock some sense into that little block of granite that you use as a brain, I would have done it an hour ago.
Go it,
Just
lad.
stay very quiet.
Judith, you love me, don't you?
Oh, indeed she does.
Be absurd, I know.
Pooh, she lies.
It is but maidenly resistance. 'Twill soon be swept aside.
Judith, please, I mean, for both our sakes.
I think you better go, Henry.
Nay, lad.
You've done a lot of lying. I mean, you've lied about your ghost, you've lied about your cousin. But there's one lie, Judith, that I will not forgive you, and that is that you don't love me. Judith, if I leave now, you'll never see me again. So, think about this before you answer. Judith, do you really want me to go?
Oh, the very words my true love said to me those many years ago.
I really want you to go.
Oh, my very answer.
She lies in her tea.
Oh, nay, lass. Oh, nay, swallow thy pride, I beseech you. Oh, if only I could tell you what I know.
Are you sure?
Quite sure.
Nay, lass.
Okay.
No, nay, nay.
Goodbye, Judith.
The Mistress Judith, you cannot do this. I forbid you, do you hear?
You fool!
Silence. Oh, good Lord. What the? Did I fright thee, lad?
General.
Oh,
Yes, I know this must come as a bit of a shock to you, Henry. But let me introduce him. This is my dear friend and distinguished ancestor, General Sir Thomas Elyot, late of King Charles's Guard.
Did I fright thee, lad?
Nice to meet you.
I like you, lad, but the lass loves you. She said as much aloud when you had gone.
Did she really? She said that?
Yes, she's proud, but she loves you.
Oh, we aren't telling us the truth. You're a fool!
Oh, he's not a fool. He has a good heart is all. And so have I.
Oh,
Don't!
Evening, sir.
Hello. How have you been?
I do not fancy being considered mad, sir, so I thought I would put you right.
Hello, cousin.
What's it?
Where's Lady Hortense?
Oh, she's here, but methinks she does not feel well.
I will not hurt thee, lad.
Yes.
Stop shaking, will you?
I'm not
Now,
shaking, I'm not shaking.
Go to her, lad. Take her in thine arms.
you are.
Pooh-pooh, go to her, lad.
What on earth are you doing in here? Who are these people? What's the matter with you? You look like you've seen a... Oh, so that's your game, is it? You never give up, do you?
Millie.
Oh, stop it! Shut up! Well, it's all over. Maybe you can fool Henry, but you can't fool me. You can tell your friends to take off their silly costumes and go home.
Really, no, not friends, Mrs. Malone. Actually, relatives.
It is not a silly costume. King Charles himself approved.
See here, madam.
Millie.
Stop it! Stop it! I've had enough! So they're relatives, are they? So this is what you call a fine old English family, is it? Frauds, cheats, and scoundrels. That's what you are, every one of you.
How dare she?
Aunt Millie.
Oh, you and your trick door. The noble Elliots, indeed. You're all crooks, that's what you are. Oh, see you in jail if it's the last thing.
Silence!
How dare you speak to me? Where did you come from? Why, you just appeared out of... Oh, good Lord! An actual materialization!
Oh, please! I think you frightened her to death.
No such fortune, it's only a swoon.
General, what if you might give me a...
Never mind, I'll do it
Oh,
myself.
I'd be pleased to help the lad.
Thank you. It should be all right. I'm sure she'll be all right. She's just a little overwhelmed. I mean, and I suppose everybody would be. Given the fact that we left our first meeting, you people, I'm sure everybody would be overwhelmed. I mean, it's just
Oh,
it's
do
beyond.
be quiet, Henry. Really?
Look at it.
Brandy, this calls for brandy. Next, who boy? Right, I need you to go to the cellar, lad, and bring us some spirits. Catch, boy. What? Good God! The keys! Oh, for shame, lad! You gave the boy a nasty fright.
I did? Oh, that I did?
You know, the blue look is going away nicely. I think she'll be all right in a moment.
Oh, and then we'll be her slaves. Oh, I never learned to hold my tongue.
Nay, woman. The blame is mine. No, I lost my head and spoke out first.
Oh, wait. Are you saying that you don't want Aunt Millie to buy Barnsley?
Want her? We'd be no more than your aunt's creatures, performing her tricks while she calls the tune. Wouldst thou welcome such a fate?
No, heaven, no, no, not at all. What about Judith? Do you really want to turn them over to Aunt Millie? Sounds like a pretty horrible fate the way the lady puts it here.
I'll like you to stay out of this, Henry. Really.
But aren't these poor creatures under your mercy? I mean, more or less?
At my mercy. What? Oh, listen to me. Oh, no. Every living Elliot for the last 200 years has been at the mercy of those poor creatures, as you put it. Oh, they've resisted plumbing for 70 years. Wiring for 50, telephone for 30. I put in a new wireless, he smashed it up. What? Authors they don't approve of go missing from the library, thank you for that. And people they don't take to got driven from the house. I could go on for hours, really. No, for once, I'm going to have my way. Mrs. Malone will treat them very well, I'm sure, and I can't afford to keep Barnsley anyway. I can't see handing it over to the government, so if your aunt still wants it, she may have it.
Oh, such ingratitude. What do you mean, hand it over to the government?
Because they'll open it to the public, because of its age and history. They'll have tours on Tuesdays and Fridays, admission half a bob, that sort of thing.
That might not be but the best thing.
I told you to have...
You don't know Aunt Millie?
I told you to stay out of it, didn't I? Yeah, I think... Oh, yeah. guess she is coming around, so maybe.
Would you guys mind, just, we wouldn't want to set her off. Could you just go poof, like, poof? They're gone. I mean, just like that, boom! That's amazing!
I know, isn't it? And the only thing that amazes them is our egg beater.
Oh, dear, what happened?
Are you all right, Aunt Millie?
Of course I'm all right. I don't know what came over me. Where is she? Where'd she go?
Millie, yes. Yeah.
Wait. You mean Judith's cousin? She went home.
Oh, stop it!
Oh, you didn't think she was a,
I know an actual materialization when I see one.
Huh?
I'm not talking about the couple in the silly clothes. I'm talking about the old woman. Where is she? I want to see her. Order her to appear immediately. She has to obey you, doesn't she?
Well, not necessarily that one. But you are convinced then, aren't you?
Yes, I must have. Barnsley, now give me my copy
Very
of
well,
the
it's-
agreement and I'll sign it.
Very well, it's right here.
The lad tried.
Aunt Millie, you will treat Judith's ancestors just like your own family, right?
Of course, as if they were my own family.
But you won't let them walk all over you, will you?
Of course not. Once I'm owner here, there won't be any nonsense about appearing and not appearing, for one thing.
What do you mean?
They'll obey me, that's what I mean. You're too easy on them. I'll be as gentle as can be, of course, but they've got to know their place.
Oh, Lord, what a monster.
Well, they're inclined to be a little bit stubborn.
Not with me, they won't be. I'll make it clear to them that the first one who steps out of line will be exercised on the spot. Once that's understood, we'll get along famously, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
I'm sure.
Now give me my agreement and I'll sign it. I sign right here, right below you.
No, I changed my mind.
Oh, what's this?
I just can't do it, I'm sorry, but
What do you mean you've changed your mind?
I just can't do it, that's all. Bonds is not for sale. I'm going to hand it over to the government.
Ah!
When everything's raised.
Good girl.
Don't be ridiculous. What kind of businesswoman do you take me for? You can't change your mind, child. I had you sign that agreement before I came down. So Barnsley belongs to me the minute I turn over the check, and that's all there is to it.
Cunning shrew.
Oh my God, I didn't realize.
Oh, of course you didn't, dear. Oh, I can't wait to get my hands on this place. I expect you to be out a week from Thursday.
Monster.
Goodbye, Lady Judith.
Just a minute, Aunt Millie.
What's the matter now?
Judith, we've got to. We've got to tell her.
Tell me what?
Yes, tell me what.
I'm sorry, Judith, we must. I mean, if anything were to happen to her, I could never forgive myself.
What are you talking about? If what happened?
Judith, I promise. Come on, it won't go beyond these four walls. Really, come
And
on.
what's the lad's game?
I'm sorry, Judith, I must. Aunt Millie, do you know how Judith said that her ancestors were here because they all died violent deaths?
Of course.
Excuse me, Lady Judith. They're not here because they died violent deaths. They're here because they caused them.
Are you telling me they're...
Common, ordinary murderers.
Oh, that's nonsense.
Oh,
It
is
is
it
indeed.
nonsense? Is it not? Ask Lady Judith if it's nonsense. Ask Lady Judith if it's nonsense that the general sliced a poor kitchen maid to death right here in a drunken rage.
Oh, zoom!
No, peace, I see the plan now.
And ask her about Lady Hortense. Go ahead. Lady Hortense, who pummeled her husband to death in his own bed while he slept.
Oh, that goes too far.
Tis not unlikely, come to think of.
And what about Penelope? Well, yeah, Penelope, yeah.
You do it, you better.
Penelope went out for a walk one evening and a poor village girl disappeared. We never found her skeleton again until 20 years later. Oh, bones locked in a cellar, just bones.
Oh, God,
talking about Matt.
Yes.
Faithful
Oh,
Matt. Matt who
Yes.
He poisoned 4 masters. Poisoned them before they ever found out about it. Poison.
Goodness, is that all true, Lady Judith?
Yes, I mean, maybe,
Yes, of course it's true. I mean, I'm sorry. I'll have to look. I hate to be the one to have to tell you this, but that's the reason that Judith did not want to sell the property to you. She changed her mind because she was afraid of what might happen
To me?
yes, to you. I mean, it seems that Judith's ancestors have taken a kind of a ridiculous disliking to you.
To me.
It's to you. It seems to me they just as soon than tell you the
Are
truth.
you telling me they'd actually...
Oh, indeed. I mean, in a heartbeat. Yeah.
Good heavens.
But
Henry Malone, you're lying. You're both lying. Why, I've been in touch with the other world for years, and I've never even heard of a manifestation harming a human being.
Thou hast not?
Bleeding Hawks told me all about it. He says it's metaphysically impossible. He says they haven't any bones or muscles and flesh to...
very good. Okay, we're lying. I'm all right. Have it your way, Aunt Millie.
That's a really good try, though, Henry. Really good try.
See here, madam. You speak perfectly nicely.
Henry!
What's the matter now, Aunt Millie? Are you sick or something?
Malone? What's wrong with your throat? Oh, good God! Stop! Let go! Somebody's struggling to help! Let go now! Do you hear me? Let go!
No bones and muscles, eh?
No, desist, madam. I think you've made thy point.
Oh, good Lord! Some monster just tried to strangle me!
Ashamed of you!
Oh, nonsense. 'Twas the gentlest of
Are you all right, Aunt Millie?
Oh, what? How would you feel if you've just been... That bottle! It's floating!
No, it's quite all right. Matt is probably under there.
You know what? Come to think of it, you could probably use a good stiff drink.
Are you
Matt, bring it here.
insane? Do you want to have me poisoned? Get out of here! Get out of here, you monster! Get!
Oh dear, Mrs. Malone, you do not look well at all. I think maybe you'd better come upstairs and lie down.
Upstairs? Lie down? All I want to do is get out of this house!
Nonsense! If you decided not to buy bonds, then you've nothing to fear.
Buy it? I don't want it, do you hear? I don't want Barnsley!
Oh, cease thy bellowing. Thou will sleep in peace.
Aunt Millie, you don't want Barnsley. You're going to be perfectly safe. Let Judith take you up to bed.
Come along.
Are you sure it's safe?
Of course.
Perfectly safe.
Why, that no good bleeding hawk. Metaphysically impossible, is it? No bones or muscles, eh? Oh, just wait till I get to work on that savage. I can tell you he won't be long for the other world.
Oh my God. What a night.
Humble thanks, sir.
'Twas the vilest of slanders, but it's over, sir.
Oh, and Cousin Judith, you will wed her, sir.
No, Penelope, I think Cousin Judith would rather have nothing to do with me.
Oh, rubbish. 'Twas only stubbornness.
She loves thee, boy.
Henry?
Hist! There she is. Come now, we'll leave them alone. Crush her in thine arms, lads. 'Tis all you need to do.
I don't think I have the strength.
Oh, you'll find it, lad, and know that you have the blessings of all the Elliots.
Henry. Henry, your aunt wants to know, would it be okay?
Hey, come down. Come down here. Come here to me. I'd like to sit down.
I'm sorry, darling, goodness. Oh, dear, it's been quite a night, hasn't it, for you? Don't worry, darling. You will be all right. You'll recover from this.
Yes. In about 40 years, I'll be able to laugh about this.
No, you just lie down, darling. I'll get you a good stiff drink. That'll help. Come on, lie down. It's gone. Where did it go? Oh, wait, no matter. I'm sure there's another one in the kitchen. Don't move, darling. I will be right back.
I'll be
Don't move.
right here. Ghost? Holy moly. No, don't go. No, don't go. Stay. Oh, please, just rub my head a little bit. Have you ever thought? No, come on. Nice, softly. Soft, that's it. Oh, no, come on, now, easy. You have to do exactly as I want. Draw to the moon. That is real. Velvety little fingers, that's it.
Oh, I'm so sorry, my darling, to keep you waiting, but I have to run down to the cellar to get the drink. I'll be right back.
Oh, what the hell? Keep rubbing.